Hi, today we'd like to go over how to solve linear equals inverse function. As you can see on the left side we have a linear function, and on the right side we have an inverse function. An inverse is a constant divided by a variable. So how do I solve this is to take note that we have a variable in the denominator. So the best thing to do is multiply by x to both sides of the equation, and that would cancel out that denominator. Then I should put a parenthesis around it to remember that I need to multiply the x to both of these terms, and then you end up with 2x squared plus 2x equals 4. And now we end up with a quadratic. So that tells me I should set it equal to 0 by subtracting a 4 to both sides of the equation. Then you end up with 2x squared plus 2x minus 4 equals 0. At this point, I can go ahead and solve this quadratic by identifying my a is equal to 2, b is equal to 2, and c is equal to negative 4. And that way I can plug it into the quadratic formula. X is equal to a negative 2 plus or minus square root of 2 squared minus 4 times 2 times a negative 4, all over 2 times a 2. Then I'm going to go ahead and continue to simplify that. My negative 2 plus or minus square root of 4, and then I'm going to do this little work outside of here. So this thing right here is 4 times a 2 times a negative 4, which will give me 8 times a negative 4, so negative 32. So you end up with a minus a negative 32, all over 2 times 2, which is a 4. Sorry about that. Then, as you can see, inside the radical, I have a 4 minus a negative 2, and I can change that to a plus a positive. So you end up with a negative 2 plus or minus a square root of 36 divided by 4. Then what is a square root of 36? Square root of 36 is equal to 6. So I can change that, and I will be negative 2 plus or minus 6 divided by 4. Then this thing gets split into 2, which is a negative 2 plus a 6 divided by 2, and negative 2 minus a 6 divided by 2. Oh, I'm sorry, 4. And then you end up with a 4 divided by a 4, which is equal to 1, and a negative 8 divided by 4, which is equal to negative 2. Okay? And then how do we check that? So we have two solutions. X is equal to 1, and x is equal to negative 2. Now we're going to go ahead and check by graphing. And so as you know, we can type that into our calculator. I have it pre-typed in for you. And then we could check the graph. My window is set at negative 10 to 10 and negative 10 to 10. So if you go ahead and graph that, that's what it looks like. You can also double check our answer by calculating and using our graphing calculator to find the point of intersection. And there happens to be 2 of them. So I can start with this point of intersection by going to that first curve. See that cursor? And second curve, there's the cursor for the second curve, so it'll give me the intersection for that point, which happens to be negative 2. Yay. So that confirms our answer right here, negative 2. And then I'm going to confirm our second answer. Let's repeat that. I'm going to find the point of intersection, but this time I'm going to move my cursor closer to this point of intersection, and then move the cursor right there. Again, I'm going to use my left and right arrow only to move the cursor. And then you can see the point of intersection is x is equal to 1, which confirms my solution, x is equal to 1. And you can see the graph. Good luck.